Alright guys, how's it going today? So, cold again. It's cold. It's only about 35 out there with that wind. So, I don't know. It's just cold though. It's supposed to warm up again though a little bit, get into the 50s, but I don't know. We'll see what the hell happens, I guess. But anyway, you can see that we have a mess of crap here on the whatever. So, I guess I don't know if you guys can figure out that, but we're not quite done yet, but still got another bag of hardware and some kind of a little stupid bearing thing. I gotta figure out how to put all that together and some whatever else. So, but I'm probably gonna take these things into the house and do that where it's at least a little bit warmer. And yeah, got some zip ties and stuff. I guess I'm gonna need some of them. So, well, that come with the kit. But anyways, we got the blower in finally for the John Deere x724. I called Friday, and because I was gonna change some things around, but it was kind of too late to say change those plans because this was actually already in. The guy was excited and whatever else. He was like, "Yeah, man, your blower's in. You can come and get it and whatever else." So there's the lift cylinder for it, or the lift arm, and then wheel weights, hardware for the wheel weights, and then the tire chains. And yeah, so this was kind of being an interesting project because when you order this obviously from the factory, the chute's not on and the drive shaft's not on and other miscellaneous things. So we had to do all of that, and this was the most trickiest thing, was this damn chute, because to rotate it left and right, it's got a little hydraulic cylinder underneath this black cover, but then that just pushes and pulls on some pulleys, and then that's what pulls on those little steel cables, and then you can angle it left or right. So, but we're not really sure what happened. We think one of the cables was actually off, so I would only get rotation on one, going one way and not the other. So we were forced to take this cover off, readjust the cables, make sure they're routed correctly from what the book says, and then had to pretty much just redo all that just to get it to even work like it should. And I think we got it pretty much narrowed down to it being good. So, see that, yeah, pickup's got a squeak too. So we put put all that stuff on, the drive shaft's on, that little holder's on. I don't think you really need the holder, but most people probably don't even use the holder anyway for the drive shaft or whatever. So and then their drive shaft, they have like where you connect the PTO shaft into the gearbox. Well, technically a chain, I think, but gearbox, whatever, same thing. You have to have a half moon key, a roll pin, and then there's a metal wire that was in that hardware bag. That wire actually goes inside the roll pin, and I guess it just keeps all that from falling out when it's spinning at 2,000 RPMs. But I don't know how that roll pin would come out anyway, because you had to beat that son of a bitch in to even get it in. So that's what they wanted, so that's what we did. So I'm kind of just going over the book. I got the book back with me here again because I'm just trying to do all the little things so so we can call it a job done on this blower. But I noticed that there's still some minor things. Apparently, for one of those zip ties, they want these hydraulic hoses, I guess, zipped there. I don't know why, but they do. So I got to do that. Whatever. I'm just trying to get all the little things done, so I don't have to worry about it. He had to grease the bottom of the chute where it rides. My uncle says he does the same thing on his blower as well. He says that if you don't, then ice will build up and stuff, and then you just can't turn them anymore. So, knowing how strong hydraulics are, they will probably bust those cables if the chute don't turn. So I greased it out the best I could, and probably have to grease it at least once a year. Wonder where they're going now. That's my grandma and my uncle taking off now. Wonder where the hell they're going. But yeah, so yeah, so I just had to put grease on the Zerk, or put grease on the bottom of that chute. So I did that. We did that a couple days ago or whatever. We spent a good afternoon just trying to get a lot of this. Well, we went about an hour after I called. The pickup was dead. Had to go get a new battery for the pickup. So that took about 20 minutes, which was fine because it was kind of chilly a little bit and kind of wanted to get warmer out, but it never happened. So, but it took us a while to even. I think the most thing that was taking so damn long was the chute. We were just having a hard time figuring that out. That's what we were dicking around with probably for a couple hours, even though we were reading the book. But it just seemed like the book wasn't detailed enough to really explain it. So after we kind of just said, let's take a break for a minute, let's restudy the book, and then we finally realized what was going on here. And the thing is too, the cables get bolted here, and these bolts, you just loop them around and you crank the shit out of those bolts, and then that supposedly holds your cable on for left and right too. So yeah, so that is all properly adjusted. I already did test that to make sure that it worked. I haven't actually ran the blower yet, but I can't because I still got the mower deck on the mower. So because I'm still shredding leaves, and I should be done here maybe in another week. I should be done, but I need to get as much of this done as possible. So then we can just shove it on, hook it up, and go. If we should get an emergency dumping of snow or something stupid like that. So, but I got one drift cutter, or a breaker bar, or whatever the frick you want to call them, whatever, drift cutter or whatever. So I had ordered the second one, but it wasn't anywhere to be found in my boxes. So while me and my uncle were putting this thing together, I asked Mother if she would call for me, and she said that she would. And I forget how he said it, but I did ask for a second one, but I think they didn't place that order. I guess it just didn't get on the paper or something, even though I had told him, and I even gave him the part number, the item number, or whatever for the mounting hardware and that extra bar. I guess just somehow didn't make it onto the official order list. So he said that he'll go ahead and order me one, and he says it'll be in next week sometime. No, it's not a huge deal because it's just 2 bolts and it's on. But so it's not and that'll just be a couple of minutes, and then the job will be done. So it's not a huge deal there. I got one anyway. You always get at least one. You always get one from the factory, regardless. So, but yeah. So I'll pick up the other one, I guess, whenever next time we go back down there again. And I'll pick up that other one. So, but yeah. And the bull is finally here. They brought the bull yesterday for the cows. They're a little late. But there's not much I could do about it. So, because they're a little late this year, I don't know what's going on, but he's here now, and he was certainly excited to get back to work. Supposedly he was the one that was locked up in the barn for a while, getting cared for, because he's the one that, I guess, got injured or whatever. So, but he was excited to, get back to work. So, even I think later that night I went over there, I did some stuff at the farm, and it looked like he was already trying to mate. So he's he's ready for some action. So, but they said just to keep an eye out for that cut on his, I guess, left side there that they were working on. He says if it gets puffy again, we'll have to call and they'll have to give him another shot or something. But we'll keep an eye out for it. But we haven't. He hasn't been here yet for 24 hours, so I don't think much will happen in that amount of time. But whatever. So we'll keep an eye out, and if we notice stuff coming out again, we'll give him a holler. But other than that, we're not going to worry about it too much. So we'll keep an eye out, but I doubt anything will happen. So yeah, I guess I don't know. This is the bearing, or the roller bearing, whatever the hell, I don't know what the hell it is. Some kind of a bearing thing. Supposedly that gets mounted on the front of the tractor, like where the axle's at. And of course you get a sensor. I call them a pussy sensor because we shouldn't need sensors. I don't know what it's for. And then it's supposed to plug into the main wiring harness. Well, I have no fucking clue if my tractor's got a spare plug on there. I've never looked, so I don't even know if that's going to be usable, but I'm guessing it is. So, but all this some of this has to get mounted to this. I think like this. That goes on there somewhere. This is the shut-off valve. That's not installed yet. I didn't think it was in the book that explained how this goes on, but there is. It's not the greatest book in the world, but I think it'll be probably more than enough, I think, to get us, to get that installed. And whatever else. So, like I said, probably all this I'm going to probably take up into the house. And then they have, I'm not even sure if I'm going to use it because I don't think it's going to be an issue, but they give you a lift arm lock for the mower deck, arms. And that's what this hook guy here is right here. But supposedly it was supposed to come, I don't even know if it's for my tractor, because the newer tractors have a different style lift arm now than what I have. I don't know if I'll even need that, because I don't have an issue with my arms going down. That's just to keep them from wanting to drop, if they should drop while not being in use. Well, I could just simply put some bale and twine on and it'll be good enough. That's just going to be a pain in the ass. But, or I could just make a small piece of wire, out of that. Tie it permanently to the frame, and then just make like a little hook, and then just hook the arm into it. It'll be strong enough. But that's the reason why you use that lockout valve, is you see underneath the tractor where the mower deck is, there's a hydraulic cylinder under there, and that's what actually raises and lowers your mower deck. It pulls on those lift arms. And see, since I don't have that lock valve, that shut-off valve on, when I go to rotate this, it's slow at the beginning, but that's because it's also you're splitting the oil in two different directions. It's 50-50. Then you're getting some here and then some on that center lift arm cylinder. So by shutting that off, putting that valve on and shutting it off, it diverts the flow, all 100% of it, to the chute. You can get away with not using it or not having it on there, but you're just going to have, this is going to be slow for a little bit until it fully retracts or fully extends that cylinder. So, yeah. But I can't install any of that crap that has to go on the tractor until I get the mower deck off. And, well, for crying out loud, I'm still freaking shredding leaves. I'm just about done. I have a little bit left to do. That white tree behind the house is literally about 90% done. There's a little bit left there. I don't even know if I'll need to shred it or not. May not be enough for shredding, but I don't know. And then this tree over here finally changed colors a couple days ago. He's finally dropping leaves like mad. So that's probably going to take close to a week for him to, dump all his leaves. And of course, these trees they were done a long time ago. I already shredded all them. So, or most of them. There's still some on this guy's property, but some of his come onto my side too. So I just mix it in with my pile and shred them. It's not really a big deal. So, but that's the only tree that's left to really to hammer out and be done. And other than that, then once I'm done, I can take the mower deck off and clean it, put it away, and we can install this sumbitch. So those wheel weights are heavy, and of course the tire chains. Yeah, so that is what's going on today. So yeah, it's supposed to be a little warmer tomorrow, I think. It's supposed to be in the 50s, I think. I'm just trying to do a little miscellaneous things to try to get done before we have to get into the hard stuff. Because the hard stuff is going to be, well, in my opinion, is going to be this and this. That's what's going to be hard. Even though it just looks like it's just two connections and you're good, but I just got to figure out. It shows in the book what goes where or whatever. So, but you got to be under the tractor to do that, and the mower deck can't be there while you're doing that. So that's a mower deck off job. So, but I think all of this I can take into the house and do that, in the house so it's warm, and then whatever else. So. But it is what it is. So, and then the other thing I got to do to this blower, I got to look over the book again, but I think the only thing that was there's only two things left to do. One's I got to zip tie up the hoses, apparently. And then the other job will be done when it's time to use it. I got to grease everything. It's going to need a grease job. It's already got some, I believe these are the shear pins right here. So, and it also shows that there's supposed to be a damn bolt that goes here. But I have no fucking clue to what, because there's nothing there to bolt it to. So I'm guessing you can just put a spare bolt there or something, I guess, in case you break a bolt, then you got a spare. Not really like a shear pin, just a regular bolt, I guess. I don't know. It says in the book there's supposed to be a bolt that goes there, but what it's actually used for, I have no clue. I was thinking you could put that PTO support there as well, like if you wanted it to be somewhere else, but in the book it says that's supposed to be there, so I don't know. I do need to tighten up that bolt anyway a little bit for the PTO holder, but I haven't done that yet either. So, and then there's another thing. I haven't looked it up yet. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with these blowers or not. I've seen some videos on it and some pictures. I just haven't ever gotten around to, I guess, looking at seeing if there's any forums on them or not. But at some point, I want to put a electric cylinder on here. Can't do hydraulic because I only got 2 remotes, so you have to use a electric cylinder. And I know there's one guy on YouTube that did that, and there was a guy on the Facebook Marketplace that was selling a tractor with his blower on there, and he had done the same thing. I don't think it'll get done this year, just because we're getting so late now, and I really need to be switching over to winter mode. Even though they're not threatening any snow as of yet, but the snow is getting closer. So I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is right now, test it, and then if I need to lower this or raise it, I will just do it with the knob on the back and then just leave it like that, and just play with it as I need to. Just play with it, I guess, see how I want it, and then if I think it needs to be up or down some more, then I'll have to stop and do that for now until I get the electric cylinder put on. But that's pretty much as high as it'll go, and then you got pretty much as literally right about there is where it'll pile up. So I think I'm just going to set mine. How do I even want it? I don't really know. I know my uncle's got his set roughly about the same. He doesn't run his wide open, so he doesn't really blow snow that far. Again, you're just gonna have to play with it and see how you like it. So I guess I'll just leave it there for now. But yeah, so there it is. The 54-inch John Deere snowblower for the front of the John Deere x724. If I ever get a larger tractor, like an x758 or something like that along those lines, I can still put all of this stuff on. I'm just going to have to change out the drive shaft and whatever else. This is the mid shaft that goes from, because this runs off your, this will run off your mid PTO, which is what my Mower deck is right now hooked up to. That's a 2,000 RPM PTO on the tractor, and this is what this requires. Same as your Mower deck. So that's why you got this big long drive shaft here. In the book it said under here there's supposed to be a grease fitting. There's one right here, obviously. But they say not to remove this shield. Not really sure what this rubber shield is for, but they said not to remove it. It's there to protect everything. So I looked in the book, trying to understand what they were doing, because they're showing how to grease this. I gotta be out in the light to see this. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. So I guess there's another zerk down in here. You gotta put your thing down and to grease it, and that'll grease the U-joint. And this is just to keep this from getting sticky and running dry. So that's how that's supposed to work, I guess. So got a lot of things to grease when the time comes to grease it up and use it. So, or to actually use it, I mean. So yeah. So when the time comes to hook this thing up to the tractor, I gotta take the mower deck off. They say to lock up the lift arms, but I don't know if I'm going to do that, because mine don't seem to come down anyway. They seem to be kind of stuck up there. I think it's all out of adjustment, so it's all pinned up. So, and if they come down, well, big deal. I'll just fucking open the valve back up and raise them back up, and I got some metal wire. That'll be easier. And I mean, that's supposed to be easy too, but I don't know. That's more of a summertime thing when you want to dick around and get everything correct. But I'm kind of in a hurry, so I just need to hook it up and pretty much go. So, and then you have to, once you take the mower deck off and you do whatever with the lift arms, Since I have a front brush guard on mine, I got to remove that, which is just a big locking handle and a pin that it pivots on. Remove all that, and then that should hook right up to the front of the tractor, because that's already notched in the frame. So that should just lift right up into place, and then you route your hoses, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. You just route your hoses, plug it in, you gave it a good quick test, make sure it's not leaking oil anywhere or anything stupid like that. And if it is, then you obviously tighten your connections or whatever. So yeah, so there's that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much to tell you guys. I'm just gonna, I guess, zip tie those hoses up, and then take that other stuff to the house and put that together. I might as well do that. If I can do it in the house, I might as well do it where it's warmer. And then I guess whenever I get that other drift cutter, I'll put it on as well. But that'll be in next week sometime, or this week coming up. It's already, Sunday? So yeah, it'll be in sometime that week. I'm not in a hurry for it because I can run it without it. If we did get a dumping of snow, we could run it without it. It ain't going to hurt it. So, but they're not talking any snow. They are talking a little bit of rain, which is sketchy this time of the year because rain can just immediately turn over to snow and then you're screwed. So if we do get any rain, I'm hoping that it will just be rain and not a mixture of snow. Because I kind of would like to be able to, finish chopping the leaves for once, because I never got to finish last year. Because it rained too damn much, I think, and then it started snowing, and it just started covering everything. So I had to abandon everything, and I couldn't even wash nothing. Because it's just the way it is. I still need to wash the John Deere, clean that up for the year, and then yeah, that's really all that's left. I've already washed the trailer, Big Red, and then the Blazer. I already washed that as well. So all that's left to do is just the little John Deere, and then I don't know, the 15-6, that needs to come here too, and put air in the tires, make sure the tires are aired up proper, and top off the diesel fuel, and then put in my jelly stuff. I imagine my fuel's already started gelling by now because I haven't done that yet. So, but there ain't nothing I can do about it. So, might try to do that today if I can. At least try to top off the diesel fuel, and then I'll put my jelly stuff in, I guess. But whatever. So, just want to try to get a couple of miscellaneous things done here. Like I said, I guess apparently zip tie that hoses up, and then that'll be done. And then I'm going to take that bag of hardware into the house and see what I can do there before actually installing everything. So, but yeah. So, that is what's going on today. Got the blower in and everything else. So, but that's just the way it's going to be. We'll get her done, though. We'll get her done here. Hopefully the next couple of days we'll be pretty set to go here. And then we can... Pretty much the only thing that's slowing me down now is, the leaves. I'm still shredding leaves. So as soon as I'm done with that, I can clean the deck off and then take it off. And then we can start working on the snowblower stuff and putting that on. But other than that, there she is. The new 54-inch John Deere blower, snow blower from John Deere. Supposed to just come right out of the factory, so I don't know if it's something that they already had sitting on a shelf, or if they were literally putting this together at the time when I had placed an order for it. So no clue if it's brand new, like right out of this brand new for 2021, 2022, or for something that's been sitting around for a couple of years. I don't know. I don't even see any rust going on anywhere. So, because even if things are new and they've been sitting, they usually will start to collect the rust somewhere, and I'm not really seeing that. So it's either something right out of the gate that's new, or I don't know, maybe they had it shrink wrapped. I don't really know. It was sitting in a crate when I got it, because the crate's long gone now, but big wooden crate, and well, that box actually come out of that crate. Hang on to that. So, but yeah, and other than that, there she is. I'd say we're about, about 90% ready to use this thing. All I got to do, like I said, is just do some minor things, grease it, whatever with that shit on the table there, or that workbench, and then take the mower deck off, and then shove all this stuff on, and then we should be technically ready to go. So, but it is what it is. So, anyways, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I just want to let you guys know that it's here, and we already put it together for the most part. Like I said, just some miscellaneous things to do, and I'm going to take that stuff up to the house and tinker on it throughout the day, see what I can put together and what I can't. So, but yeah, she looks good though. She looks good. So she's a little. Yeah, I think John Deere could have done something better with that, because this literally just sits here. All that's holding it is technically just these black plates, and they're tight, and I don't know. I think they could have redone that a little bit better. Same thing with the cables. I wish they could have figured something out better. Instead of using cables, I think they could have just used some type of gearing. I mean, I get that you want to use hydraulics, but you know, you could just put in like a little hydraulic pump with a rod coming out of it. Just like the walk behind blowers, they got that big crank you got to crank, and that turns the big gears. That would be probably a little simpler for people to work on. I don't know, but it took us a while to figure out that cabling route, how they need to be routed, but we eventually got it, and that's supposedly how John Deere wants it. So some people can get them to turn a lot more. How they do it, I don't know, but I don't need it, so I don't think I'll need it anyway. So other than that, that's pretty much it. So, but anyway, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. I want to go and get some other things done, and yeah, it's time to get on the ball here and at least get some things done. So anyway, guys, I guess I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.